Barbados, sweet paradise, but the politricksters, full of lies. They want mash up the culture, tear it to the ground, but the people, we stand strong, we hold the rock down. Wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people.
Yes, wake up, my people. Greetings. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. If you're not correct, feel free to correct us. But first, let me say greetings in the name of His or Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Wazira Menin, one perfect balance. Whew, fresh off the tarmac. This has been a day to remember. How everybody doing out there in cyborg space? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. All right, so yeah, what time is it now? I don't even. Somebody tell me what time it is. It's minutes to 12. I think the only other time we did this late or this early was when I think I had a hurricane barrel over a year ago. But yo, Sean, I see you up. I see you up. This is for the night owl. This is night owl edition, okay? No cappuccino right now. We're sipping on some. Sipping on something. Yeah, but I could not do this. I could not, despite the, I can't call it jet lag, but I had to, this had to happen, like, without question, this had to happen. How do I download this file? Save as a copy. Yeah, okay. I got it. I got it. All right. So, Politically Incorrect, up and running, late night edition. Just say at work, that is why. Okay, well, that's good, man. But you and me both. Hold on, family. So a lot of things is happening across the length and width of Barbados. No, that's not one of them. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and just do this off the top. I don't even know what to say. I said the more things change, the more they remain the same. I think that now is a better time than ever, or now is a better time than it could ever be. There's a few questions I want to ask my brothers and sisters here in the Isles of Barbados. One of which is, man, is it me or the writing on the wall? Like, every day you look around, you're seeing more and more of what I tell people, for me personally, are like little distractions. I mean, focus on these little distractions. Meanwhile, the things that we are poking at and looking at are nothing in comparison to what is really going on. But we're going to paint a picture tonight. I'm going to ask some questions, and y'all could just, let me know your feedback, feed forward on this, and see how it goes. Oh man. So we're just going to jump right into this without even wasting any time. Considering the late night edition after 12, well, almost midnight. Folks going to say, well, wait, Emmanuel, I ain't getting a notification. What happened? Listen, you're going to have to check in and see what's going on. Now, I got a video I want to play tonight that might shock y'all. You may have seen it. I'm not sure if you haven't seen it. That looks like a burning building. Well, to some degree. But you tell me what you think it is when I play that particular video. And you can let me know what your thoughts are. Because again, there are a lot of things in Barbados that don't really they don't get to the public domain, and for different reasons. Some folks see it, some folks don't. You already know how that goes. But we're not really paying attention to the real things that are going on. Like, I'll tell you what though. I know that my people here are going to know what time it is, but we're going to get to it. We ain't going to stick it up. We're going to get right to it. So because it's late, we're going to jump into it. Sean, you already know what time it is, man. Wait, Maureen up? Oh, man. Good night to you too, Maureen. That's necessary. That is very necessary. So the question is it that we're being distracted by these different things, or these different things are actually happening? Let me get some eyes in the sky. Hang on. See if I can pull this off. Okay. Okay. I got you. Is it? Okay. All right. Politically incorrect. All right. Can you see? I can see. Is it volume? Yeah. It's a good thing. All right. See what's going on. So I was going through my page tonight on my computer and I realized a few glitches. Sean, I ain't gonna say the Chinese. I ain't gonna say they hacked me. I ain't gonna say nothing. But it's acting a little strange. It isn't really it's acting a little strange. Seeing as how I built it, I knew how it functioned when it was started. It's a little strange. But anyhow, we can go and do a sweep this weekend and see what's going on. We can sweep the system and see what's going on. Anyhow, Maureen, don't worry about it, man. According to the stat 16 watching. Sean, who gonna watch it, man. B and D are the same, so nothing will change. Nah. Hold on. They gonna change, but watch this, Sean. Hold on, watch this. What changes is the ownership. In fact, I ain't gonna say it yet. Let me play the video first and jump right into this video. Hopefully this should catch your attention. I won't put the volume on, so I'll take that off in case any voices can be recognized, right? I'm gonna just add this to the stage. First, I'm gonna pause it. Does anybody know where this building is located? I mean, the ones that are on here now watching, if y'all know where this building is located, who can identify this building for me? Like, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Some folks might know. Some folks might not know. Where's this building? Can anybody tell me? Let me see if you can see it clear. It's a whole full image. Can you tell me where this building is located? Can anyone tell me where this building is located? You got the whole image on the screen. You can't miss it. Can anyone tell me where this building is located? If they know, write it in the comments. Late night greetings. All hail King Emmanuel. Listen, blessed love. Anybody know? Come on. Somebody got to know where this building is located, man. Somebody got to know where this building is. Yes, King Alfred. I know it's morning time, early edition. We might have to do an early morning edition, like morning news, yeah. Grand Rise. John said it doesn't ring a bell. Okay. Okay. Good night. Peace and blessings. Yes, greetings to you too, family. Isn't it Pierhead? Okay. Good night to you, Sandra Franklin. Good night. Good night. Somebody said, hold on, we getting somewhere. We getting somewhere. We getting somewhere. Somebody seemed to recognize what's happening here. Good night, all. I see you too. I see you. Who said, isn't that spiced down? No, King Alfred. I don't think that's spiced down. Look closely. I'm gonna put it up again. Just look closely at it. Look really close at this building, and tell me where this building is located. What does that look like? Does it look like the building's on fire? Is the building on fire? Where is this building located? I'm gonna give you a hint. Somebody got to know where this building is located. Take a look at the image. Take a look at the image. Nobody knows where this building is located in Barbados. Nobody. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can help you. Let me see if I can help you a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. Get a little assistance. A little assistance. The question is how you gonna get how you gonna do this without giving it away? Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me see here. You get a good image. One that you can actually recognize. This one here. Um, get you close as possible to it. See that view, that angle isn't always, but wouldn't be visible to most people from land. That angle will most likely be visible for those at sea, looking inland as opposed to us looking out to sea. Somebody said, "Uh-oh, you're getting somewhere, getting somewhere." Landis said, "Hold on." Landis said, "Near the Bridgetown port." Okay, 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 okay. Near the Bridgetown port. Hold on. Down by the flour mill. Maureen, wait, how you know that, Maureen? Yes, that is actually down by the flour mill. Yes, by the Coast Guard. To be exact, that is exactly where that's located. That's exactly that cement. Wait a minute. Hold on. It looks like it's on fire, doesn't it? Now, Barbadians, I'm like, for me, don't get me wrong, a lot of things happening. We're going to touch on a few tonight in passing. but they're real issues that like they're not even hearing about. Let me ask a question. Let me play this again real quick. Let me just go ahead and play this video again real quick. You would think, right, that what you're looking at is smoke. If you look at that building, you would think what you're looking at is smoke. But truth be told, like the brother said, what you're looking at is cement. Like that is literally a haze of cement. Well, of course, cement came in recently, and as they offloaded and sorted out, with the cement storage facility located right next door to the flour mill. Well, guess what? Right next door to the flour mill is a cement storage facility. And when they offload and move in cement, in case anybody haven't noticed, cement creates dust. But that dust isn't dust, it is actually cement that blows through the air. The building literally looked like it was on fire. At first, when I saw it, I was like, wait, the building's on fire? The cement, the flour mill is burning? But nah, that ain't burning. That ain't burning at all. That's cement. So my question was, wait a minute, hold on a second. If that is cement there, and realistically speaking, hang on, you're telling me that that building is not on fire, just cement dust blowing in the air. Well, is it safe to say that the particles, the flour, the mill, don't them particles go inside the flour mill? I'm just asking a question. Do the particles go in the flour mill? Somebody help me here, man. Spring Garden, for sure. For sure. That's down by Spring Garden. That's down there where you see the flour mill and that cement storage facility that is now kind of closed in to some degree. I'm not sure why. Cement particles blowing in the wind. So my question was, does that affect the cement? Does the cement rather affect the flour mill? That's just my question, because people buy flour from the flour mill. People buy bread and items from the flour mill. I'm just trying to figure out, would that stuff affect the quality of the flour? And if so, would that mean that there are traces and particles of cement in the flour? And if so, would that mean that people who consume that particular flour in whatever form be consuming cement internally? And if so, wouldn't that not be an environmental health issue? And if so, would that not also be putting cement on the water? The dust got to go somewhere. And if so, after a period of time without accumulating, would cement and water not somehow harden? And if so, would it not then not float on the water, but sink? And if so, would that not affect what's on the water? For example, like the reef, coral. And if so, would that not also affect marine biology and the ecosystem that exists therein? And if so, would that not also be an environmental issue? Like, wait a minute, man. Just, I don't know. I'm just, yes, it would. Yes, it would. Greetings, family. You up kind of early too. Okay, y'all. A lot of y'all surprising me. Y'all don't sleep. Y'all don't rest. What's going on here, man? People, poor fish, poor people, poor fish. Listen to me. I'm just asking questions. Like this was I was certain the building was on fire till they got clarification. Like, nah, homie, that ain't no smoke. That's cement. And that was a little 10-second, 15-second clip. That vessel was there offloading for hours. Hours. Might have been the whole day and day and a half, something like that. My point is, that's enough though. Like, you can't tell me that them particles ain't going in that flour mill. You can't tell me. You can't tell me that. Barbadians, all I'm saying, right? Now, I don't know if it was done deliberately, maliciously. I don't know why, or if it was, because I remember that building was told to cease and desist with its erection at the time. In fact, it became a court case. I'm sure if you go Google that, you'll find that information popping up somehow. And then all of a sudden, you ain't hear nothing else. Like, okay, go ahead and put it there. Don't worry about it. We changed our mind. Like, I was going to say, like, the issue with the campus, Trend Fire, right? With the fire department and the license for the building that had one way in and one way out, which is a complete fire hazard. But I ain't sure. I ain't sure. Selling cloth, I ain't sure. But it was just interesting. But Maureen, help me here, man. Help me here, man. I was thinking the same thing when you said cement next to flour mill. I follow you. Everything you said is correct. Well, thank you very much, man. Because I'm thinking, but we just buy that flour bread. We eat bread. We buy fish from people who fry in flour. People buy pastries unless the flour is imported. Otherwise, in fact, you know what? It's difficult to have this conversation and not think of the ramifications of people consuming this particular flour in large amounts from this flour mill. I think right now, and I'm gonna say this as shout out to Fade, by the way, and the Barbados National Congress. There needs to be an investigation into this from the Ministry of Health or from independent sources who have the capacity to check and test. And I think that they need a visit and some questions need to be asked on record. Why? Because Barbadians, well, people in general, I'm not going to isolate it to nationals. People eat the flour, consume rather, the flour in various forms that come from this particular flour mill. We're not discussing the imported flour. This one, unless, something here needs to be looked into and looked into urgently. Like, I don't mean now, but I mean like right now. Because you see this right here? This is absolutely unacceptable on every level. That's what I got to say about that, plain and simple, man. Shout to Dominica in the house, man. Shout to my people up north, man. For sure. Monel, that's how you pronounce it. Mondizer. I don't know if my French is correct. If I pronounce it wrong, forgive me. But welcome to Politically Incorrect. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Yeah, family, this right here, this ain't cutting it though. This ain't cutting it at all. Hang on a second. Let me adjust this. So here we have this whole thing. Whose idea was that to put those two next to each other? Whose idea it was? I don't. That's the $1 million question. This is the case, you would be contamination in the flour. It would be contamination in the flour, but that's to say the least. There's nothing wrong with having flour contaminated, but there's something wrong with contaminated flour being sold and consumed by people. Therein lies the problem. You got flour that's contaminated, bag it and dump it. But I said, if, yeah, it is, man. And we know Bajans love bread. Man, look, salt bread to sell. Salt bread is Crumb's Bakery by flour. I wonder if Crumb's flour comes from this particular flour mill. I wonder if Nichols flour you could go through any particular bakery on the evening. You see droves of people running through looking to purchase jam puffs, turnovers, sweet bread, salt bread, whole wheat bread, all kind of bread. And this is the question: how often does this happen? Maureen, that's the question now. You know, that's the question now. How often does it happen, man? Have you been paying attention? Like I said, there are things going on around Barbados that needs attention, and it doesn't get the light. It doesn't get the light that it needs. For example, here's another thing. You start going to the countryside of Barbados, you start recognizing, or you go to the areas with land, you see hundreds of acres in Barbados owned by some families. And you only got to stop to answer the question, how is it that this family owns so much, claim rather, let me rephrase my words. How is it that they claim to own so much land? Like not acre or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20, hundreds of acres. How is it you own hundreds of acres? Like how that there's only one way you could quote unquote own hundreds of acres. That means you owe people money. That's what that means. That generational hand-me-down wealth, we know where it was handed down from. Barbados is in for some rude awakening. She said, yes, okay, yes. I didn't butcher the name. Thank you. I guess the French is not too bad, I suppose. I guess it's French. But I got another video to show y'all, man. I don't mean to touch on it, but I have to. Well, I don't have to touch on it, but I think it's important to touch on it. I think in so doing, it adds context. It adds context. So I'm doing context at this point in time. So let me just pop this one right in the reel. Pop this one in the lineup. Let me just share this video right quick. My viewing audience here. Let me go ahead and share screen. Pull this one up. Put that up there. And let me see how to do this. Yeah, here you go. There you go. So this is literally less than 24 hours ago. Like this was only posted literally a day ago, little over a day ago. Well, a day ago, give or take, considering it's now this time of night, time of morning, time of whatever. Let me share my screen. And man, oh man, oh man. Yes, I'm going to another video. Let me switch this one out, bring this one down, add this one. So this is where we going here, man. It's like Maureen is saying now. Hold on, Maureen. Maureen is saying, let me see what Maureen had to say. So 20 years from now, the people start getting stomach and gastric illnesses. They're going to blame our diet. Jokers, of course. But Maureen, at that level of contamination with that dust in the cement, I don't know if 20 years, I think you're being a bit ambitious here by suggesting it would take 20 years. I beg to differ. We're living in the quickening times, man. Everything now is accelerated. So it's a possibility that it might not take that long, Maureen. You know what I mean? It might not. It really might not. So I want you to pay attention to your health. But like I said, this needs to be investigated without question. And somebody need to go and find out what's going on. Yeah, I know. Somebody got to go and find out what's going on. Yeah. Shout out to Barbados National Congress for sure. For sure. You know, anyhow, that's just something to pay attention to, family. Like I'm just saying, pay attention to that without question. But in this other video here, where we at? Where they go? Where they go? Yes, this one here, for example, I gotta play this because just to lay the foundation. Now, a few weeks ago, we talked about a video about the plantocracy and the idiocracy of Barbados when it comes to protecting the establishment. And there's some individuals who go as far as becoming puppeteers in some cases. So here we are now, a few weeks later, after discussing the NASCO fiasco regarding the leveling playing field. Mr. Sutherland is in the media again, but this time in different ways. But let me play this first. This for context. Let me play this. Let me play this, man. You can't make this stuff up.
The initiative is a public-private sector. The minister said the initiative is a public-private sector partnership and plans are at an advanced stage for a big housing project before the end of this year.
Will be 1,300 houses at Vineyard in St. Philip. 1,300 low-income houses.
So wait a minute. 1,300 low income houses. That wasn't the shock for me. I mean, me personally, that wasn't a shock. Low income houses, 1,300 low income housing. That wasn't the shock for me. In fact, hold on, let me let it play first in its entirety, because that wasn't the shock for me at all. I'll tell you what the shock was in a minute. Hang on.
For the people. And these are houses that are going to run some less than $200,000, including land and everything. You have never seen anything like this under the last administration.
Never seen nothing like this under the last administration.
Most they built was 325 at Corvally.
The minister says government has identified land for housing solutions across Barbados.
We went from parish to parish. And in St. Lucie, we identified 667 acres. Some planning gains at Bright Hall. In St. Peter, we identified roughly around 10 acres. St. Andrew and St. Peter, 20 acres together. St. Thomas, St. George. But when we came to St. Philip, we identified over 425 acres approved by my colleague to build housing for the people of St. Philip.
The minister said it is a hand-holding exercise with government, working with stakeholders to make owning a piece of the rock easier for Barbadians.
Government has capped the price of land in this country. Tell me where you're going to go and find land at $12 a square foot. Tell me where you're going to find land being utilized from a government at $5 a square foot. Tell me where you're going to find land given to developers to develop at $3.50 a square foot.
No. I want y'all to not miss that part. Like, there's a few points in here you can't. You see, everybody's talking about this guy resigned and whatnot. Before he left, he did something like Robert Kennedy did. Well, we saw what that got Kennedy. Nevertheless, let's hope that is not Sutherland's fate. But this is not something to overlook, family. You're going to hear a lot of people talking about this. But this part right here, you can't miss. Now, check this out.
Tell me where. $5 a square foot. But you know why we're doing that? We're doing that because we have a section of this society that we refer to as low income. Persons that are earning less than $2,500 a month. That we have to make sure we give housing to, and they become homeowners.
The housing minister.
$2,500 a month or less is considered low income. $2,500 or less is considered, you fall into the bracket of low income. $2,500 a month. Right. In other words, that's like roughly making approximately a little over $600 a week. You know, $625 you can call it, but that's like making. And we know that the average person in Barbados, some folks don't even see nowhere near that. But that puts you in a certain category. But what I want to go back on is a few things he said. I want you all to listen carefully. Like, listen.
The last administration, the most they built was 325 at Corvally.
The minister says government has identified land for housing.
The government have identified land. This sounds like a Columbus story. Columbus discovered the Caribbean. The government have identified land. What does that word mean? They have identified land. What does that mean? That they was looking around, trying to find a spot? Identified land. Listen carefully.
Housing solutions across Barbados.
We went from parish to parish. And in St. Lucie, we identified 667 acres.
600 and something acres. Now, wait a minute. Let me answer this question. I asking for a friend. So y'all identify, not allocate, because if that was the case, the words would have been interesting. Identify is interesting. I know, the language, right? Double speak. But anyhow, so they identify 600 acres in the north. Okay, well let's put that on the board. 600 acres in the north have been identified. Check this out.
Some planning gains at Bright Hall.
All right.
In St. Peter, we identified roughly around 10 acres.
Mm-hmm.
St. Andrew and St. Peter, 20 acres together.
Mm-hmm.
St. Thomas, St. George. But when we came to St. Philip, we identified over 425 acres.
Okay, 425. Well, 600, 400, give or take a couple tens and 20s in between there. Sounds roughly about 1,200 acres in total, give or take.
Approved by my colleague to build housing for the people of St. Philip.
The minister said it is a hand-holding exercise with government.
It's a hand-holding exercise. Now, this is the other part you got to listen carefully to. It's a hand-holding exercise. 1,200 acres.
Working with stakeholders to make owning a piece of the rock easier.
Working with stakeholders. Let me check the comments real quick before I go too far. Can anybody tell me when they say stakeholders, what does that mean? Stakeholders. Anybody know what stakeholders? When they say stakeholders, what is meant by stakeholders? Let me check the comments real quick. Hang on a second. Let me go back here. I might have missed a few here. I was in Barbados for Carrie Fessa. This flour mill, no. This Carrie Fessa flour mill. Wow, can't believe that happened to the mill. Well, yes, believe it or not, you better believe it, man. Like, yeah, unfortunately, it's sad, but it's a reality. Greetings, Jackie. Shout out to the family. You know that already. Shout out to the family in NYC. NYC in the building. Ay, ay, ay. Let me do this here. Okay. Sean said, all of this illness originate from somewhere toxin. Toxins are everywhere. Well, be that as it may, Sean, it definitely in the mill. I have a batch of dough in my fridge right now. Maureen, wait, hold on, Maureen. Don't eat it. Where did the flour come from? I hope it's not the flour from there. Look at the package you have in the fridge and see where the flour originated from. No, I don't know. Shout out to the family in UK. Shout out to the matriarch, of course, and my sister from another mother. Y'all already know. Big up to the UK family. The land wasn't sure. George said the land wasn't there before. Now they found it. Yeah, they identify it. Yes, we have identified the land. We found the land. We found it. We discovered it, Sean. That's a straight colonial term. That whole thing is a colonial term. Like this ain't going. But hold on. 1,200. Dwight is something. Anyhow, Mr. Sutherland. You call him Dwight. You don't even get that, boy. I almost feel sad for the brother, man. Almost. But what y'all? So wait. Hold on, Sean. Stakeholders. What is stakeholders? The stakeholder. Those holding the stake. Stakeholders, probably the banks, construction companies. Yeah, you mean like the when you look at a pastor, the man holding the stake is who control the cow, right? Or the sheep. And they stake them out on the pasture, put them in place. He who controls. The man out holding the stake is who control the cattle. I can say that again slowly. For my people in the back. Hold on a second. The man who is holding the stake is who controls the cattle. Yeah? Keep that in mind. But hold on. There's more.
For Barbadians.
Government has capped the price of land in this country.
Government has capped the price of land in this country. Now, this is the part where I suspect he, yeah, this is the precipice right here, as far as I'm concerned.
Tell me where you're going to go and find land at $12 a square foot. Tell me where you're going to find land being utilized from a government at $5 a square foot. Tell me where you're going to find land given to developers to develop at $3.50 a square foot.
Okay, right there. That is the proverbial nail in the coffin. Because it was clear. Now, there are three stages here that get outlined. Wait, hold on a minute, man. Let me put this in perspective. There are three stages, just three. First, it is tell me where. Let me go back a little bit for those who might have missed that. Hold on.
Where of land in this country. Tell me where you're going to go and find land at $12 a square foot.
Okay, so first, tell me where you, Mr. Low Income, gonna find land at $12 a square foot in Barbados. What part you gonna find that from? But hold on.
Tell me where you're going to find land being utilized from a government at $5 a square foot.
Tell me where you're gonna find land being utilized by the government. The word is utilized here. The operative word in this sentence is utilize. For how much, Dwight? Tell them again.
Where you're going to find land being utilized from a government at $5 a square foot.
$5 a square foot land utilized from the government. So for you, it is 12. For you, it is 12. For the government, it is 5.
Tell me where you're going to find land given to developers to develop at $3.50 a square foot.
Tell me where, come on, family. Tell me where you're going to find land given to developers for $3.50 a square foot. Y'all ain't paying attention. I tell him when too distracted. And as soon as this is said and done, even getting no further, as soon as this is said and done, it is said and done. And quick, so the media is in an uproar with discussions of the likeness of so. No, I ain't even played that. I could play that video. I should play that video. Oh man, I don't even know if I should play that video. I ain't playing that video. I'm playing a different one. Hang on. I can do a different one. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me check the comments. I know the comments gonna be blazing in a minute. Yep. Where can I? Should I? I don't know if this is gonna work. Trying it out here and see what happened. It's streaming. It buffering. It coming up. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me go ahead and play this. Let me go ahead and switch the screen. Now, like I said, that video was a little over 24 hours ago. And as if that wasn't sufficient, here we find ourselves today.
Recently resigned Housing Minister Dwight Sutherland was out and about in his constituency this afternoon. He says while the announcement of his resignation as Minister of Housing, Lands and Maintenance may be sad for some people, he will now have more time to focus on his constituency and to spend with his family. He says he will be doing all of this while remaining a member of the Barbados Labour Party, on which ticket he became the St. George South MP.
And I want to thank my son for coming this afternoon with me.
and the members of my branch, my first constituency assistant, and my present one, and my public relations officer and PA. Certainly, this afternoon is a constituency afternoon, and people are coming in and leaving. I pledge lots of people have passed through, pledging their support, but I told them I am still a member of the Barbados Labour Party, and I pledge my support and continued dedication to the people of St. George South and indeed Barbados, not just St. George South, but Barbados.
Mr. Sutherland is asking those who may be disappointed in his resignation to hold firm.
You know, I've done a lot of work, but like I said, it's for personal reasons that I have resigned. And I know the person that is coming after me is my very good friend, um, Chris Gibbs, and I will give him maximum support.
All right, yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's enough of that. Yeah. So, that's good. Personal reasons, it's family, anybody can respect that. And we thank you for your. But when we figure it out, we'll let you know what we thank you for. But let me check the comments real quick, because this is where I'm telling you we missed that. We missed that. We missed that, man. We ain't paying attention. Hold on. Let me go back here. Right. How insulting is this? Who land is it? This we are the low income. Yes, Pam. Whose land is it? Whose land is it? You really asking who land is it? It was identified. They never tell you they identified the owner. They identified the land, not the owner. But sometimes the cattle just pull up the stick and go where they feel. That's right, Maureen. I want you, Maureen. I want you, Maureen, to give yourself a big round of applause. Let them know. Let them know. The cattle ain't out no more. Pulling up stakes here. 667 owned by who? Owned by who? The land lost its identity. I'm telling you. The land has a digital ID now, so they know what's going on. Remember to like and share. Yes, Maureen. I am glad you said that, Maureen. I don't want to say get pressure to say that, but there are folks who message me, man, you gotta tell the people that. So I've been able to find a way, Maureen, to assist with this endeavor by clicking on a few things here. I can put that up on the screen, like and subscribe, click on the bell, that kind of stuff. Make it happen. Yes. If you're on YouTube, if you're on the other devices, feel free to also like and follow on the Facebook page. Yes, a little technology, a little something, 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 something. Thank you, Maureen, for that little brief reminder. Like my PR campaign manager behind the scene. Maureen, you are amazing. You're totally amazing. Anyhow, family. So having said that, let me just make sure I click it off here again. Yes. So that's where we found ourselves today, family, with Mr. Sutherland situation. And if that wasn't sufficient for us, we had some breaking news as well. Yes, we had some breaking news. Can anybody guess what that breaking news was? If anybody can tell me that now, that'd be great. Yes, we had indeed some breaking news. I need to put this out here. Let me go ahead and play this one. Wait, before I actually put that one up there. Hold on. Let me play it in its entirety so I don't miss any aspect of it. Let me go ahead and debrief this one here. Where is? Oh, here it is. Here it is. And I don't want to do it an injustice. So I'm going to the source to quote the source so that we can get this thing in its proper perspective. Is it CBC? Was it CBC? I think so. I think so. Close that one out. Okay. Was it on the air? Sorry, there you go. She can be sometimes a bit elusive. All right, so our PM came out and she spoke. I think it's only right that we touch this. I'm trying to see if I can get this on a full screen. I don't want to do the smaller version, but it looks like I might not have much of a choice. Technology. Let's see if I can get around that. Let's see how, not if, I can get around that. That might be a little tricky, but not impossible. A little tricky, but not impossible. I saw what y'all did. Because now you see it, now you don't. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. That was interesting because it was here right next to this one, but now it is not. Not a problem. I know where else to find that, man. See, one about technology, man, it can just, yeah. Let me throw this in drive. Okay. The thing with technology, man, you can't make this up, boy. We're living in a serious time now here, family. And, you know, I have it. Technology, boy. I tell you. Anyway, so let me go ahead and play this breaking news for you now. And finally, yeah, we got the breaking news, man. Let me go ahead and put that up right there real quick. Nevertheless, again, the language is what tells us what's going on. It's the language. You got to listen twice when it's being said. Land given for $3.50. You would think they would give you the land for $3.50. But the developers is who get it because they claim they're developing it. Then they sell it back to you at a reduced cost. But the cost is still kind of above your, payroll. Hang on. Let me pull this from the top.
Good afternoon, Barbadians. After discussion, I received earlier today a request from the Honorable Dwight Sutherland to be relieved of his ministerial portfolio in housing, lands, and maintenance. I have accepted his request. He will remain as Member of Parliament for St. George South. This has been a request driven by him for personal reasons. I have asked, accordingly, the President of Barbados to appoint the Honorable Christopher Gibbs, Member of Parliament for St. Michael West, as the new Minister of Housing, Lands and Maintenance as of tomorrow's date effectively. I thank you for your attention, and I'd like to thank both the Honorable Dwight Sutherland for his service to the government, while at the same time looking forward to working with the Honorable Christopher Gibbs in this new portfolio. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, very simple, very brief. So you notice a lot of these ministers in the BLP, now that after the fact, they've got their 2 terms and pension secure, are gradually, slowly but surely resigning. Like, this is how many now? Like, I mean, with elections coming up in the not too distant future, these ministers resigning literally like flies dropping left, right, and center. It looks like the BLP is going to have a half, or at least definitely half, a cabinet of new lineup members looking to fill seats. I don't know if these guys are looking to resign from their ministerial position or cabinet or their portfolio, and then somehow still run as a constituent representative. I don't even know how that game is just so messy, man, right now. I don't even know what to say about that. But it said, Sean said, stakeholders is who holds financial interests. Yeah, I bet it is. Invaders, you mean, right? Yeah, Pam, let Sean know. And they're not in financial interest. They're the invaders, man. 12.5 and 350, King Alfred. You know, which slice of the pie you gonna get? What a difference a day makes. I'm telling you, what don't happen. Aunt Rose always said, what don't happen in a year just happen in a day. Good night to you too, Monica. Shout to you and the whole family. Greetings if the government own the people. The people can't own the land. Whoa. Whoa. Food for thought. Food for thought. Food for thought. You can't find what ain't lost. They didn't find it, Pam. Like you said, the operative word he said was given. That was given. Was given to them. 350 a square. Look. Can't even want to imagine them sort of thought. And then the kind of houses they're building. That's what I'm saying. This is just crazy, man. Job done then. Job done. Straight up. So that woman could tell a lie. Yo. New land minister. Look, man. Look, man. All I want to say, right, family, is that we have not been paying enough attention. You know what I'm saying? That's just all they're going to tell you, man. Straight up. We ain't been paying enough attention. Things going on, and it's like, we ain't going to even discuss war and rumors of war in the Caribbean. Like, we've already passed that. Folks now waking up to that as a reality. In fact, I might have to put that one up. I got 2 videos I want to put up. This is one. Let me go ahead and share this. Okay, pardon me. Where we at? Okay, let me put this one up. It's a video I did some time back. I don't know what. I'll put the link up. I think that's probably the best thing. Hold on a minute. Let me get the link. Let me get the link. Copy that. I'll put the link up so it'd be easier for you to find it, perhaps. I'll put that one up, and I'll put the other one up as well. So hold on a second. So we did a video some time back. Let me see if I can put that up there. So I can drop myself in these cut. Yeah. Okay. Must look like a younger version. Yeah. Okay. So this particular video, the link is in the comment section, the comments. The link is right there. And this video is entitled, this is what or who exactly is Barbados? And some of y'all may have missed this. You got to go check this out. You got to go check this out. Yes, it features none other than our, what we call the national hero, the founder of independence, or whatever that's supposed to mean. And that's being said in the nicest way possible, because regardless of how much we hold these individuals and what they've done in high esteem, really and truly the people conditioning never really changed. And it isn't changed. It seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. So, it's tricky how we define heroes. We say Ibrahim Traore is a hero. What he's doing in Burkina Faso right now is like, wow. And that's just a few years. Mr. Arbar got us independence and free education, and 50 some of the years later on is like, okay, where are we at with all that? Like, so how we define heroes, like, do we put them in the same category? I don't even know how we define that, but that's conversation for another time, I suppose, how we define these national heroes and what are we praising them for exactly. But that always happens over time, though. Give it the time. Give it the time. But anyhow, go check this video out for sure. That's definitely one. And the other one, wait, hold on a minute. Let me give you a glimpse of that. Just a glimpse of that. I don't even know where we at. Just press play and see what happens. To form no coup in Barbados. You would like that, but not really, because the place kind of small. That might be a bit tricky, because most people know where politicians live. Most people. Nevertheless, But a coup from a perspective of a conscious level. You see, they can't touch that battlefield. That battlefield is different. A coalition of united people on a conscious level. You kidding me? Can you imagine, right? You have 20. The thing is, you don't even need a lot of people. You just need sufficient, enough people consciously thinking on a certain frequency. And I guarantee you, they call it the Mandela effect. That's what they give it. They give it a name now. Just like people dropping down because of some injection they took. They call it sudden adult death. You ain't never had this before in your life. And all of a sudden now, post-COVID, post-injection X, all of a sudden, adults simply dropping down like flies. And nobody wants to be honest and say, well, I wonder if that got something to do with that thing there the other day. You know, that thing there the other day. You know, that thing there. But don't mind me. I ain't said a word. I can leave it at that, man. I don't know. I cracked me up. Anyhow, it's always, I don't, anyhow. Forgive me, family. Let me get back to the regular schedule program. So that video, you got to go check that one out for sure. The other one, I'm going to give it to you now. Hang on. I'll give it to you now. I just got to go down here a little bit more. I think I'm going too far, quite frankly. I think so. Oh, definitely going too far. Definitely it's too far. The other one is, okay, definitely look like me going a bit too far. I am not even seeing it. Like, give me a sec. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here it is. I said this before, family. I'm going to say it again. You got to go and watch the one. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'm going to get you the link. I go to share. And then go to copy this. I'm going to put the link in the comment section again for you so you can check that out. Yeah, we ain't going to stay on much longer. It must be 1 o'clock almost. Yeah, minutes to 1. Y'all are still up with me? All right. Let me see. We're going to put that one up there as well. All right. Let me see what's going on here real quick. Said they suck what they want to suck from the people of Barbados, so the retirement is secured. Yeah, well, he good to go now, but you know, what is he noted for as a minister? Like, what has he done to say, well, this minister did this or did that? What is he noted for? Other than the things we brought up here on Politically Incorrect, especially the NASCO fiasco. Motley don't like black people. Motley are Sandy Lane residents. I know them personally from a child. Her father wasn't easy. God will be done. Wow. I don't know who this individual is, but God's will be done. Like, that's a fact. And, you know, you dropped some serious comments there just now. That's serious. But who is the developer? Is it a Bajan or some out of Barbados? Well, the truth is, if you must know, one of the developers is not, in fact, maybe more than one, but one of the ones I'm aware of is someone in Guyana, I think. They said they gave him a contract to build, I forgot how many houses, but I know the contract is well over $200 million, that I know for sure, to build several houses in Barbados, which was those ones in the video you saw, those wooden and wall-looking houses. It's really a joke. Those are really just a joke, and they're building those, what they say, the lower income. You know, they might as well build you a slave hut and stick you in it. You know, that's equivalent to that. Basically, that's what that is. Fishermen in the Southern Caribbean better to be careful, because they may be mistaken for the wrong people and become unalive. Maureen, don't even start that. But that's what that video is about, Maureen. That particular one, I just posted a link. It's called, in fact, wait a minute. Let me go back to it. That one is called, Is the Caribbean Ready for War? Wars and Rumors of War. The question I asked is the Caribbean ready for war? And that was about 5 or 6 months ago. Like, you're seeing this day coming. like literally seeing this coming. And the question was answered. We outlined a number of reasons why we answered the question. Well, here we are now. So the question don't even it's not even a matter of be ready for war. The question is, where are we going to go? Because they are coming to disrupt the program. We're not even going to discuss the conference they had, was it yesterday? Colombia. We look at that on Friday. When the Caribbean got together and have a conversation, what are we going to do about this? What's coming? Yeah, from 1966 to now, and what has been achieved in Barbados. That's my whole point. And God's will be done. That is exactly my point. Right now, Barbadians, and you know how you know who is colonial? Like you have not, well, let me say me, because again, I don't frequent certain places. I don't, fly in certain circles. Period. So correct me if I'm, wait, hold on. Let me put my number on the screen for those who might want to correct the Rasta man, me saying something in error. Here we go. Put it on the screen right there. Remember to tune into Politically Incorrect Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. Yes, it's supposed to be 8 p.m. I know I come on right now when I feel like it looks like, but circumstances are usually factors in those, in most cases. Not all, but in most. Nevertheless, if you want to reach out, there's an email address, politicallyincorrect246@gmail.com. And there's a number 246-838-8253. Hit me up on WhatsApp. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. But let me put it to you this way. I have not heard any politician openly endorse Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, if that's how you pronounce it right. Like I have not even heard them speak on it. Like I've not heard that. I'm not. Perhaps our prime servant would have done that because she speaks on different people, but I think so. I ain't sure. I have never heard them, which is interesting because you would think that a Caribbean island who's always talking about reparation and sovereignty and we, our culture and blah 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 blah, friends of all, salates to none, would embrace the liberation of that individual. But nah, you don't really hear nobody saying nothing along them lines. Like, you better not mention that man's name on this thing here. You better not mention his name. But I'm going to tell you right now, man, it is obvious what's going on here. All of a sudden, you got this news to talk about. Don't forget the tint making sense. The crime is still what it is. And all these backroom deals with land and land being given to developers is the order they did. Straight up. They used the word stakeholder to conceal who behind the project from the public. That's right. That's right. Caribbean politics aren't capable of handling politics. Caribbean politicians aren't capable of handling politics. They, you know what? That's an interesting statement. I don't know if it's a matter of them being capable. I think they're conditioned to do exactly what they're doing. They have destroyed the Caribbean. Might as well go back home at this stage. That is crazy. That is crazy, but it is also a true fact, man. They've done a disservice and an injustice to the people. I totally agree. Slave owners predicted all this that is occurring today. Good night. Well, God's will be done. Let God's will be done. And let us who have life and breath do what we can to make a difference, how we can. But the house doesn't look like it can take hurricane force wind. That's my point. That is exactly my point. That's exactly my point. Totally my point. Why would you build a house in the Caribbean right now that can't withstand hurricanes and all this stuff? We see every year how close they get in. We keep talking about climate change and the weather patterns and they're all up in arms, but yet we don't prepare the infrastructure in our countries to reflect that we're taking this thing serious. No. No. Unbelievable. there was another clip I wanted to play. Let me see if I find it real quick because I'm definitely out of here. Daffodil, we out of here. Let me see if I can find that one. I don't know. Not seeing it. Not seeing it. Not seeing it. Okay. Okay. But yeah, go look for that one, family, on the page. Go check that one out. Like I said, in fact, where is it? Hold on. Let me see if I can share that one time and see what happened. Hang on. I go to share this. What happens if I do this? Let me see. Oh, kind of works. Okay. It kind of works. I wasn't aware of that. Okay. So, okay. It does kind of work. All right. So I was checking to see if I can get it work, and it kind of worked. So here's the deal. Go to the page. You already know politically incorrect. Click on it. Make sure you like and subscribe according to what the folks say. And what you're going to do is go across to the live button, click on that, and you're going to come down. You're going to scroll down, and you're going to scroll down. Yes, there's much to see here, but you're going to keep scrolling. You're going to keep scrolling, and you're going to come across Dominica. Speaking of Dominica, the state of Dominica. Is Dominica a police state? I remember that. Speaking of Dominica. All right, here it is. Is the Caribbean ready for war? This right here, family. Go check that out. Go check that out. Go check that out. Speaking of out, it's that time. We out. We out. We out. Anyhow, but thank you for your time, your energy, your synergy, staying with us tonight. I know it's kind of early. I got to get a few hours rest. I got a whole another day ahead and some stuff to do. But man, we got to pay attention. My thing was that flower though. We need to pay attention to that. And in other news, really quick, I didn't see the newspaper. I was told about it. The headlines actually. Let me see if I can pull that one up as well while we're here. Why not? Why not? Let's just take a look and see. I'm almost tempted to say in other news. In other news, but no, they don't have it. So imagine that we're back at the prison again, and the prison staff and the different government agencies, and so everybody's talking about this, including the unions again. The unions seem to be more up. In fact, the unions seem to be more enraged now than ever before, which I think is interesting. You know, my take is on that. The union got a call. Listen, y'all got to give these folks hope. You got to give them hope. Hope will keep people holding on longer than they're physically capable to. You know, like a promise is a comfort to a fool. So now the unions come out and make a lot of noise all of a sudden, like, yeah, y'all gonna do the right thing. So when the people start realizing this, then the people who was actually agitating probably start to get relaxed. Okay, yeah, that's right. Y'all do your job. Good. Yeah, so things happening. But the more things change, the more they stay the same. Haile Selassie first, Empress Wazir family. Y'all already know, man, the one perfect balance. That's where we at. Y'all have a great evening, peaceful and restful evening. That's what's going on. And we out. See y'all on Friday night. We're going to touch on one, two other things are not being mentioned. A lot of stuff in Barbados does not get into focus. Don't let the distractions distract you. Land being given both here, left, right, and center. And all they could do is tell you how much you are in the lower income. They call it AKA lower class, right? Study yourself, man. Don't let these people fool you. Plain and simple. I play a tune, but we're gonna drop this tune. We drop our tune, we're gonna hit the road, man. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Y'all already know what time it is. See y'all on Friday. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Make sure to like and subscribe to the page. We got some news from the Minister of Agriculture as well on Friday. Y'all not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe it, man. Stay wise, family.
Sweet paradise.
Sweet paradise, man.
But the politricksters, full of lies.
I ain't gonna tell you.